105.5 WDHA here on the Jersey Magazine. I'm Jim Monaghan, and my guest is Police Officer Tom Downs from Madison. We're on the eve of Halloween, and a lot of little kids will be running around town looking for tricks and treats and what have you. Officer Downs, good morning and welcome to WDHA.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
What are some of the main safety tips that you want to let parents and kids know for Halloween?
One of the biggest ones we cover with the kids is to make sure they're able to be seen. They don't always understand the importance of that. And we cover that when we do our presentations in the schools. So we encourage the kids to wear glow sticks or something reflective, carry a flashlight, things like that, so that they are able to be seen by the traffic and cars.
Now, you know the neighborhood where I live here in town, and I must say in the last probably 4 or 5 years, we've had a number of families come in, and there's a lot of young kids in the neighborhood. It's really kind of neat, and especially at Halloween. And one of the things that I see a lot is parents going out with the kids, which I know is very, very important.
It really is. They actually encourage kids under the age of, or 12 and under, to be accompanied by an adult when they go out.
How much has Halloween changed here in town over the years?
You know, I'm not too sure. I think it is a little bit earlier in the evening now. Kids seem to get out earlier. As you know, I grew up here. And when you say over the years, I think back in the day, we used to get out a little bit later, after dark more so. Seems now that it starts earlier and ends a little bit earlier.
What was your favorite part of Halloween as a kid?
I guess like everybody else, going out and getting that candy, right? Or eating it. I'm not sure.
We have a little bit of a supply in the house. We're going out over the weekend to get more. I think, you know, the thing that always got me was growing up as a kid, you know, don't talk to strangers, don't take candy from strangers. And then once a year, we dress our kids up and we take them out to strangers' houses.
Exactly, right. I know, it's the mixed signals they're getting. I know.
But at the same time, I guess as long as there's, and my parents always went out with my sister and me when we were little kids, and I'm sure it was probably the same for you with your parents, or at least parents of friends of yours who you went out with. There's always a parent around to keep an eye on things.
Yes. And that's what we, like I said, we encourage with the kids, even up to the 5th, 6th grade, to have a grown up around to, in case they have any issues, just to run it by or get some help from on that night.
From your standpoint, you know, being in as a public officer, you know, police officer, what's the biggest challenge that you face and the department faces, Officer Downs, with regard to Halloween?
I think the biggest concern overall would probably be pedestrian and vehicular safety, and just trying to make sure everybody's behaving behind the wheel and driving carefully and making sure they're able to see the kids. I think that's the biggest challenge.
The weather's supposed to be, well, there's a slight chance of rain, but the temperatures are supposed to be mild, so mid-60s, which I always thought was the best kind of weather for Halloween. I remember one year as a kid, it was really cold. And, you know, we had winter coats underneath our costumes, which made it for very bulky movements.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
One of the other things that I did want to ask you about, and we don't have to go into a ton of detail, but it seems like common sense. You see stories in a lot of the local towns about cars being broken into. And officer, it boggles my mind that in this day and age, people have to be reminded to lock their doors and lock their cars at night. What's up with that?
Absolutely. I live nearby too, so I hear a lot about this, even in my own community. And that's the biggest thing. I really not involved in that type of work anymore. I'm in the schools, but people, it's very simple. Lock your car door, take your valuables out.
Yeah, it doesn't get any more simple than that.
Pretty simple, right?
Where will you be on Halloween? Where do they have you?
I don't have a particular assignment yet. I'll be in the schools during the day, and we'll be at each school for the school parades, the 2 school resource officers. We actually accompany the high school marching band from the high school to each of the elementary schools to lead the school's parades. So that's where we'll be during the day. I'm not sure about nighttime.
It's one of my favorite times of year. It really is. Well, thank you very much for your time and best of luck this year with Halloween, Officer Downs. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.